Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, power is not meant to be vested in certain hands, because if you vest power in certain hands, they are certain to overreach and abuse that power to the point that they start to strangulate the people that they have that power over. In Yoruba land, we say otengunwa giragaraju, otenmiwa jigijigiju. So he's straddling us too much to the point that is now choking us. Guys, I bring you this. Why I worked against Ambode's second term. Tinubu is the person speaking. We all know what happened to Ambode, a very popular governor in Lagos State, and you can see why he was popular, because it was projects after projects after projects that was reshaping the very face of that state, to the point that he was bringing that Ekpe Badagry axis into the Lagos stretch, and the road now from the airport, he completely that's the Muritala Mohammed airport. The road from the airport, he completely relayed it. He built that iconic Oshodi motor park, and he was doing a lot of these strategic projects to reposition Lagos State. His language, of course, is futuristic, and his language is the language of business, because he was and still is an accountant, and he speaks the language of money and finance. And anytime you saw Ambode in those days, you would see Dangote in the gathering, because he also understood the trajectory of what the intentions of what that Ambode project was. So everybody was on board with this guy, including the general population. This guy will wear his jeans and his shirt, and he will be out on the streets in that road that needs fixing, telling them that, look, this road it needs fixing, and I'm going to fix it, and it's going to be fixed within 8 to 12 weeks. And then as soon as he says that, by the very next week, there are contractors on that road, and that road is being fixed. This was the tenor of Ambode, very popular amongst Lagosians, and there was absolute and it was loved, by the way, by the federal government too, because it was speaking that language of development that made the entirety of the governance look good. So everything that was set, the stage was set for this guy to return for a second term, and nobody could really see what could have prevented this guy from getting that second term. But as I said, Tinubu, Omewa Jigi Jigi, Ongunwa Gira Gira. As again, why I worked against Ambode's second term, a headline attributed to Tinubu. So now let's now see now how he justifies this. The national leader of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has identified poor leadership ability as reason for his failure to support Akinwumi Ambode for a second term as governor of Lagos State. Ambode, the immediate past governor of Lagos State, having served 4 years, did not get the support of his party leaders in the state to get a second term. According to Tinubu, Ambode's administration was leading Lagos in the wrong direction and couldn't be allowed to continue in the direction he was heading. Tinubu, who spoke at the commissioning of Agege Pen Cinema flyover and 5 arterial road networks in the area yesterday, said Ambode's drift from the leadership and vision of Lagos State became noticeable between 2017 and 2018, saying the drift noticed by the political leaders in the state led to decisions to jettison Ambode and bring on board Sanwo-Olu and his deputy, Obafemi Hamzat. Though at that time we were not sure what the performance of the duo would be, but they have so far proven their worth in spite of the prevailing challenges, Tinubu said, describing Sanwo-Olu as a brilliant captain who had stabilized and brought Lagos back on a focused journey despite economic turbulence occasioned by C-19 and the coordinated destruction of the state's asset. So there you have it now, Tinubu effectively. So there's a lot, I was going to say there's a lot to disagree with in the reasons that is given for jettisoning Ambode, but there's everything to disagree with every single thing that is giving us reasons for jettisoning Ambode. To identify poor leadership ability as a reason for jettisoning Ambode is an absolute categorical lie, and as they say in Nigeria, lies from the pit of hell. There's nothing further from the truth than to suggest that that guy lacks leadership qualities. Every being of that guy is vested with that leadership qualities. This is a guy that leads from the front, and as I said in my opening monologue, this is a guy that will go into the trenches dressed in his jeans and shirt and with his sleeves rolled up, with the workmen wearing his safety hat and telling people that were there that, look, this is what is going to happen here, and immediately and there and then that thing that he said is going to happen there is going to happen there, because of course this is a guy that comes from finance, so he has already done the figures before he has come to that place to make those promises, and all of the workings had already been perfected, and it then appears as though the governor just come and said it, and it is happening. So this is a guy that is an administrator, a leader, and a visionary. So there's absolutely no question about that. And the Oshodi iconic motor park that he built is one of the samples of what he's capable of. And I think there was another one that was meant to go in Ojota, which is the entry point into Lagos, because Ojota, of course, is just after toll gate. So a lot of projects after projects after projects. Whenever you arrive next in Lagos and you come out of not Nnamdi Azikiwe, Nnamdi Azikiwe is Abuja, isn't it? And you come out of Muritala Mohammed Airport, that stretch of road that you wonder if you are back in whatever abroad you are coming from, the road is so neat and well laid out. That is all Ambode's project. So this is a guy that has vision, that has leadership, and is a can-do guy, and is a guy that does. So to suggest that he lacks vision and he lacks leadership quality is an absolute categorical lie. And this is a guy now just reaching to whatever that as an example of the reasons why he jettisoned Ambode. Ambode was shining too bright a light is really the reason why they got rid of him, because his name was resonating too much, his achievements were too visible, the government of the day were taking notice of this, and because he was fast becoming actually Buhari's pet son, sort of like a favorite son, sort of, because the guy is always phoning Buhari to come and commission another project and another project and another project, and of course that is good PR for Buhari when it's coming to say that this thing has been completed again in Lagos and that it will be under his administration. So he was a leading light in that first term of this Buhari administration. So any suggestion at all that he lacks leadership quality or vision is a categorical lie. We all know this. So if these are not the reasons, then what are the reasons? The reasons, of course, I mean, you only have to look at the person that got rid of him, then you immediately know why. We're talking Tinubu. And when you hear the name Tinubu, you don't think leadership and vision, you think thieving and corruption. So, of course, Ambode was starting to block the avenues that this guy was using to loot Lagos State, and because he felt he had the backing of Aso Rock, to the point then that Tinubu had to show him who was the authority in Lagos State. And during that period, during Ambode's tenure as the governor of Lagos State, he was clashing quite heavily with Fashola as well. And you know that the trajectory of Lagos State is Tinubu, and then Fashola, and then the rest of the acolytes. So that is the structure. So of course it was clashing constantly against Fashola, because he felt so emboldened by his capacity and his achievements, and he thought his achievements were enough of a currency or enough of a footing for him to stand on. These were the thoughts that Ambode had, but Ambode made the fatal miscalculation that politics is all about influence, and this is the one thing that Tinubu, above everybody else, understands very well within the Nigerian space. So everybody that constitutes the Lagos Assembly, every single member of that assembly is a Tinubu boy. And Tinubu, by the way, we're talking about a $20-30 million wealth. So that is his war chest. So every single member of that Lagos State Assembly were installed there, and their pockets are filled by Tinubu. So when Tinubu tells them to move, they will move because they know where their bread is buttered. They don't know Ambode from Adam. Ambode only came in because Tinubu told them to put him there. And if Tinubu tells them to remove him, immediately they will remove him. You saw how they all just shifted from his back. I think he actually lost that ticket for the APC by a good 90-something%. Imagine a sitting governor losing the ticket of his party, which should be granted to him automatically anyway, especially somebody with the achievements and performance of Ambode, losing the ticket of his party by a good 90-something%. So that just then tells you all you need to know about the influence of Tinubu, and it is that influence that he used to step this guy aside, not for the betterment of Lagos State or anything, but really for his continued influence and hold over that space, and his continued looting of that space. So Sanwo-Olu, I don't really know a lot about him. A lot of people are complimentary towards him. A lot of people are critical towards him, especially how he handled the NSAS protest. Either way, I don't really have a serious gripe with Sanwo-Olu, but the way that he came into that position, I have issues with. Come share thoughts about all this with me in the comment section, but before you come into the comment section to engage, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickings, Tinubu will have it be the case that he got rid of what is his name, Ambode. Tinubu will have it be the case that he got rid of Ambode because the guy was ineffectual and he lacked leadership qualities. Come tell me what you're making of all this. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.